Hello, table family. It's Monday. It's Yolanda. It's everybody at the table. Happy to be back with you again this Monday. Though we are still on summer hiatus, I have an exciting story I want to share with you. This week, I want to highlight a powerful story that inspired me by an organization called the Illinois Answers Project. They are highlighting the very real challenges facing communities in the city of Chicago. And as we know, these are the same communities across the nation that are impacted by some of the systematic decisions that are creating a wealth gap and an opportunity gap in our nation. And this will only be exacerbated by the recent federal spending bill that cuts so many programs and dollars that help to support people during difficult times. This is not abstract conversations or ideas that we're talking about. We're talking about very real, very human, very urgent issues. I hope in listening, this inspires you to consider how you're using your voice, your sphere of influence in the effort to create equity and access for all just within your community. Take a listen.
Hi, I'm Crystal Paul, and I'm the State Investigations Editor with the Illinois Answers Project. We recently published a major series about upward mobility in Chicago. The series is called Making It in Chicago, but it's just as much about what gets in the way of people making it as it is about what could be helping. We started this project by talking to community members during a listening tour about what they felt were the barriers to opportunity in Chicago. What they shared with us guided us towards topics as big as childcare costs, medical debt, violence interrupters, gig work, student loan debt, home repair for seniors, and affordable housing. Our reporters investigated these issues for months, diving into data, surveying families, interviewing experts, and digging up documents. What we found is that the cost of living has been skyrocketing in Chicago, making the path to economic opportunity more and more difficult. For example, between 1991 and 2024, childcare costs rose at nearly twice the pace of inflation. But many of the programs aiming to fix cost of living burdens are limited and underfunded, and the median salaries are often not enough for basic life needs. We also found that the gap between Chicago's wealthiest families and neighborhoods and its poorest has been steadily growing. Where you are born in a wealthy or struggling neighborhood has a significant bearing on success later in life. County's wealthiest communities, which are comprised mostly of the city's white residents, have more than 200 times more wealth than the city's poorest communities, which are largely comprised of the city's people of color. We also found that there are community members, legislators, and some innovative ideas seeking to address these issues. In West Garfield Park, Brian Ranson faced down the folk bringing drugs and violence to his block, and later started a block club that has helped fend off violence there. After his own aunt was a victim of reverse mortgage fraud, Reverend Robin Hood founded an anti-foreclosure group to educate residents on housing issues. But even as efforts take a crack at relieving the biggest impediments to economic opportunity, people are still falling through the cracks. Tasha Powell makes too little to afford quality care for her newborn, but due to eligibility restrictions, she makes too much to qualify for the state's largest child care subsidy. Andrew Chacho is among thousands stuck paying off astronomical medical bills, when many of them may have qualified for debt relief programs or even free care. Camilla Hudson and other apt-based gig workers feel like they're hustling to make a decent wage as the algorithms that determine their pay change the very nature of their work. These are just glimpses of some of the compelling and important stories in this project. Check it out at illinoisanswers.org.
The Illinois Innocence Project reminds us that this is a community effort. Our government holds a large responsibility to assist its citizens in every way, especially because they collect so many tax dollars in various forms. We all pay taxes in some form. In addition to that, we need organizations, we need the church, we need local government, we need community organizations, and then there are just individuals. Something starts when someone gets an idea just to help their neighbor. So many of the vast programs that you see happening now just started with someone wanting to help their neighbor. And that's the community work that we're going to need in the times ahead. Neighbor helping neighbor. This is the work that inspires my heart dearly. And quite honestly, the reason this podcast exists, to bring voices and ideas on how we continue to create access for all. I am looking forward. I'm so excited. I'm working this week on some additional conversations for the upcoming season. I'm looking forward to coming back with full episodes of Everybody at the Table. Until next time, take care and dine well. And don't forget to share the podcast and comment on what you're doing in your own world to create access. Okay, y'all. Bye.